Hi everyone, this is my second video that I'm going to do to talk about mental health. Feedback from the first video has been really nice, thank you. The constructive criticism was that I waffle too much, I swear too much, yep, and I touch my face too much. Yeah, I do that too. But I did wash my hands after I'd done my video before I did anything else, and I'll do the same now. Okay. So with that in mind, I will endeavour to continue doing all of those things, because if I try not to do those things, I'll just do them even more. So sorry if I swear, it just slips out. So I thought that I would try and do a few videos, see how much I waffle. Oh, and also not make them too long. 7 minutes was too long. I'm already at a minute and a half. Right. So I thought I would try and talk a bit about anxiety and OCD. Although there are so many mental health conditions, there are too many to talk about, and my experience is with anxiety and OCD. They go together. OCD is a general anxiety disorder. So whichever one that I mention, they're both relevant to me and to this. I obviously need to say I'm not a doctor or a psychologist, don't have any advice that is coming from anywhere medical. Anything I say is just from experience or things that I've learned or have been told by professionals, and it doesn't mean that they work for everyone, as the case is that different things work to help different people, and it's taken me like over 30 years to actually find ways to manage mental health. So thank you to anyone who's been watching, is going to continue watching. Hopefully if you find me really annoying, you're not watching, so I don't need to worry about not being annoying. And to all of my true friends, thank you, all 2 of you. So not sure how I'm going to order, oh look, touch face. I'm not sure how I'm going to order the videos, but I'm going to try and make it so that they kind of follow a bit of an order, so they're not too jumbled. But in saying that, my mind is a bit jumbled anyway, so it might not work out that way. We'll see. So yeah, basically, we've all got like anxious minds. We've all got that way about us. It's the way we're wired. And it took me a long time to learn that. Actually, I've spent 30 odd years just thinking I was a bit odd, a little bit weird, different. It wasn't until last year when a psychologist said, like, everybody is like that. That's the way we're wired. The part of our brain that, you know, controls all of that emotion and anxiety and everything. The good old amygdala at the back here has a lot to answer for, but that's the way our brains are, and the way that I have learned to manage it is to just retrain that, and who knew that was possible? But it is. And that's not to say there are slip-ups and there are bad days and stuff, but when you have been through therapy and learnt the stuff that I have, you learn how to turn that little amygdala off and use the frontal lobe, and it works really well. So I'll talk about that at some point. Like I just said, we've all got this catastrophic mind, but some people deal with it much better than others, and my mind can just kind of go off at a tangent. Well, it just does it all the time, and it always has done. I remember when I was, 9 or 10, going to Brownies, and I suddenly thought that I'd left my TV on in my bedroom, and that was just a normal thing. But I literally shook and worried and was sweaty and felt sick for like the whole hour and a half that I was there, because I thought that my house was going to burn down, and I thought that my mum and dad were going to die, and that I was going to be an orphan, and that I would grow up in like an orphanage. And my mind I just remember it so well. And like when my mum came and picked me up an hour later, like I hadn't even noticed that my TV was still on. I didn't even get any relief from it. It was just horrible. And that's just one example. I still do it all the time. Like my mind makes catastrophes out of everything. And again, our minds do that, but it only becomes a problem when that causes real anxiety. And when it does that, you can't think straight. So that's a classic anxiety symptom. But by following, I'll talk a lot about acceptance, and basically acceptance of yourself, myself. I'll mention it loads. Only by getting to grips with that have I learnt about how to control the amygdala and that catastrophic mind, chatty mind. We've all got chatty mind, but it's how we manage that. And if that doesn't cause anyone else any symptoms, that's all good. But for those of us that have that chatty mind that just causes us all sorts of emotions all of the time, it can take over your life. So like I said, everybody gets anxiety. That's normal. That's how we're programmed. We're supposed to get anxiety. It's normal. We all know about fight or flight. That's where it comes from. It's sent to protect us. When you've got a job interview or going into a situation that you're uncomfortable with. For me, it's going to the cinema. Hate going to the cinema. It makes me anxious. I don't know why, but I just don't like it. I'm not agoraphobic or claustrophobic or any of those things. I just dislike being in there. Makes me anxious. Anyway, we all get that situational anxiety, and yeah, like I said, that's normal. The curveball comes when you suddenly get that fear. It's more than feeling nervous. It's like um, it's like a feeling, and everybody gets that feeling in a different place. For me, it comes from my stomach. It comes up my throat. It's like strangling, horrible sensations, um, and it brings with it loads of emotions that just flood, um, because it's basically a massive shot of adrenaline, um, just coursing through you, and when it's uncontrolled, it just goes wild. Um, you know, and your brain doesn't like it. It's a horrible feeling, so it tries to fight it away. You try and ignore it, or you try and avoid it, and you just end up in like a massive cycle of anxiety. And when you've got no reason for it, when you can't find a reason, it's horrible because there's no explanation. And I found myself spending so much time wondering why I felt like this. What could it possibly be? Was it something that happened to me when I was young? No, because nothing happened. So why do I feel like this? It's just horrible. So yeah, I spent years just trying to avoid things that made me feel anxious. Trying to distract myself. Like people say, think about something nice, or why don't you do something to take your mind off it? Which is really unhelpful, because the more you try and take your mind off it, the more your mind goes, no, think about it, analyse it. Why don't you try and work it out, find the answer? And that doesn't work either. So I'm going off track here. Told you I'll go off at a tangent. So yeah, there were times actually where like intrusive thoughts, have actually got to the point where like I thought I was going mad, and that's when I sort of started having proper panic attacks for no reason, just at home, just relaxing, or I don't know, doing normal things. Oh, hello, panic attack. Where did that come from? And yeah, they feel like you're gonna die. Unless you had a panic attack, you don't know what a panic attack is. It's not just a little bit of heart's beating a bit quick here. And they're not a joke. There was a point last year, beginning of last year, where I think there was like a few weeks where I was having like 30 or 40 panic attacks, sometimes consecutive ones, and it was really bad. And there was no reason for that. There was nothing going on, nothing had happened, I wasn't worried about anything, just was hideous. And yeah, I actually got to the point where the doctor gave me some diazepam and said, like, you just have to take these now. And I did. I've never taken medication for anything like that before, but that's what I did because that's what I needed at the time. And that isn't to say that everybody needs medication. I just knew that that's what I needed. Because I thought I was like one breath away from being sectioned, and I thought I was schizophrenic, or well, I didn't know, but yeah, my mind was just terrified, and that's how how my body deals with it. Notes. And yeah, so, you know, talking about anxiety, panic attacks, things like that, there are just loads of emotions. And again, they're different emotions for everyone. My emotion that kind of overarches everything is anger. And that really frightened me. Like, why am I so angry? I must be mad. Like, I didn't smash anything or, you know, want to hurt anyone. But yeah, anger, scary. And it's, you know, and you just really learned about emotions. So I'll probably talk about that at some point. But yeah, they get like really out of hand and really in the way. And so you try and avoid them, which is not the answer. And physical sensations, yeah, you can't breathe. You kind of lose the ability to control your breathing. Yeah, like I mentioned, your heartbeat, you know, and your heartbeat's just racing a bit. Well, when you think that it's actually going to like jump out of your chest or you're going to have a heart attack, that's what a panic attack feels like. And can't swallow, you feel sick, or like not just feel sick, like you feel like you are going to be sick constantly. Your stomach's churning, yes, and you feel it somewhere. Everyone feels it somewhere. Like I said, for me, it's right in the pit of my stomach. It's a feeling. It's real. It's not just nerves or butterflies. It's a proper feeling. But I have learned how to deal with that, and so I will tell about that at some point. But yeah, for now, that's kind of the basic stuff about anxiety. I will cover some stuff about OCD. I will bust some myths about OCD because, yeah, it's not about checking the door or washing your hands a lot, although it is for some people. It's very real and it's not a joke. So, happy Wednesday, and give me some feedback or questions, anything you want me to waffle about, and I'll try. Bye bye.